Welcome back to Cards and Comics, guys. Today I have a really cool vintage mail day. I have some cards into my collection, some cards from an auction house for my first time ever using them. And so we'll go with the auction house items first. It just came in one a couple weeks ago, and it is Collector Connection. Won three items in their latest sports card auction. They just had a comic book auction, which they had some cool pieces, but I didn't win anything in that auction. But the sports card auction, which my buddy Doug, Joe Wood Collector, won a bunch of really nice 207s, and really building his Boston Red Sox team set. So that was really cool. But I picked up a few items here. First off here is the Ferguson Bakery, the 1916 pennant here. And this is not really a card. But SGC now has a holder that fits these very nicely. So I went ahead and grabbed it. Now, some of these colors are weird for me because I don't know if this is orange or brown because of just how it looks. But there's multiple colors, so you can do a rainbow. So this is my first Ferguson Bakery pennant card. It's a cool Chief Bender card. I'm really excited. And I talked about, I'm not grading as much as I used to, but this card would be one card item I would grade just to protect it, because you can see it's a felt item. It's very easy to damage. So a really cool item. I'm going to have it graded because SGC's new holders for these cards or these pennants are really nice looking. They do a perfect job of protecting and holding these cards for display. So first up there, pretty happy with that. Next up is a card for my Pirates PC, and I was very happy with the condition of this card. It is a 1934 Paul Waner, and you can see by the gloss and color, this card is very nice. Really nice color, white borders, 4/4, pretty nice. One rounded corner there. Square on 3 of the corners. Just 4/4. It has great eye appeal. The color and registration on this card is immaculate. 4/4. You can turn over on the back. It doesn't have any terrible back issues. No staining. No big stains. Nothing wrong with the back. So really happy to get a clean 4 as I continue to build my Waner collection. And, now I have most of his big cards. Like his common, the Diamond Stars, the 2 Gaudy cards, Batter Up, things that are very common. I even have the George Miller now, which is a lot less than common. I have the Tattoo Orbit. So I'm doing pretty good on Paul Waner. Now I'm going to be getting into some of the weird stuff, stuff you don't see as often. So that's going to be really fun to get into some of the weird stuff. Now, the last item I got, I don't know how I'm going to display it because it's such a weird item. And it is M128 National Police Gazette. My first item of this player, who I think is tremendously undervalued and underrated, but it is Grover Alexander. And so kind of pull it down here. You can kind of see the supplement to the National Police Gazette, September 1915, and it is a massive page which has been bent, which is very common for these. And then you can see there Grover Cleveland Alexander, the season's most successful pitcher, now with the Philadelphia Nationals. So there you go. Just a really cool piece. I'm going to get it framed, and they're just impressive. I mean, if you look at this piece size, it's a big. It's much larger than like an 8x10. It's a really impressive looking piece. It's very nice registration color for black and white at the time. So I'm going to get that framed and hung up in my man cave, which I am modifying by the day. I've got really cool things happening, with my man cave. I've ordered some shelving. I've got my entire middle section opened up, and I'm going to hopefully put all my guitars and my music items in the middle so I can practice and be surrounded by my collection while I practice, which I think would be really cool. All right, next up is some other cards I picked up. I'll show off here for some sets I'm building or just collections. One of them is the E91 Ed Summers. Again, I've started buying a lot of E91s. I've got the Cy Young now. So I keep buying E91s. I think they're a great looking set. And just really happy to continue buying. Even commons are beautiful to me. Ed Summers, I don't know much about Ed Summers. He might just be a common, or he may have had some great seasons. I don't know. I didn't research him too much, but it was fun to pick him up. Next up is another card from my pirate collection here. 1947 Bond Bread, Ralph Kiner. I think Bond Bread, I think there's a Jackie in this set. But they're really nice looking in person. I love the full uniform of Kiner. And this is pre-48 Leaf and 48 Bowman. So this is kind of like that whole argument over, is it a true rookie card? It's not nationally distributed. So back then, you had this idea like, okay, the cards, to be considered a rookie card, it has to be in a nationally distributed set. That's sort of the reason why you don't have things like the 84 Star Jordan at the time called a rookie. It was an XRC. So this would be an XRC. I think we're past that a little bit. So maybe it's just the first card is now, honestly, just the rookie. So maybe this is the rookie. But there's a lot of people who won't change how they perceive what a rookie is. So, but that's a great card. And it's a nice looking card. A lot of times the cards that people try to present as like, oh, this is the first card ever of so-and-so, and they're oversized, undersized, a weird cut, odd photos, or not, they don't look like cards. And that's not the case there. That looks very much like a card. And then not last, but second to last here is the last card I need for my Bill Mazeroski base Topps run. 63 Topps, have it in a beautiful 8. Just a really nice, well-centered, great-looking 8. It's got a beautiful white back. That thing is crazy good back. Just shows the card hasn't been handled much, not been exposed to sunlight or a lot of things that will tone the back. So just a great card. He only has about 4 or 5 cards that really bring any sort of real money. You have his rookie, his 58, his 62, 63. You get the Bazooka, the Hires Root Beer, which I have the 58 Hires Root Beer with the tab. It's in a ginormous SGC holder. So you have cards like that. So, but he doesn't have a ton. Maybe to stand up a little bit. He doesn't have a ton of cards. So like a lot of his cards are pretty cheap. He's one of those players that's very controversial for making the Hall of Fame. He got in mostly on his defense measurements. So anyway, Bill James thought he was a Hall of Famer, by the way, so I'm going to just go there. But anyway, so this is a great looking card. Completes my run of Topps cards. So now I'm down to some of the more obscure cards to complete my master set, which I'll probably never do because, it's hard to get everything for a player, even during their playing days, just because some stuff is so obscure. And then here's a card I picked up for my Native American set. I'll just show it off here. Never saw it before. I don't think it's ultra rare because I've seen some. Now that I saw it, I looked around a little bit and saw it has sold a few times, but it's still pretty cool. It's the 1933 Tootsie Circus, and it's got the so this is like a card in the set, and the card the set isn't all Native American. It's like a circus set, so you got elephants and clowns and everything you saw in a circus. So this card is part of the circus, and that set, and obviously Tootsie would be, I'm assuming, Tootsie Roll. It says it was published by the Sweets Company of America, but the thing about it that just gets me is it looks a lot like 33 Goudey. It's horizontal, but you look at the back, that looks just like a Goudey back. So it's either a company associated with Goudey who hey, like we don't want to be like we're like this happens a lot. Like companies will print things or call themselves multiple names, or it's just someone who stole their design to make another set and just said make it look like that, and so they stole the 33 Gaudy design, because I mean all of that looks very much like 33 Gaudy. So there we go. Just a fun card for a Native American set. So there it is, guys. That's my update. I do have, I guess, 2 cards you could say consider for my Native American collection, with both Bender and the Circus card. Some fun pirate cards. You know, I always like collecting pirate cards, and just another fun card for my E91 set. It's been a good year for Bender. For me, I picked up the Mellow Mint, the T227, both 14 and 15 Cracker Jacks. So really doing moving the needle on Bender cards. Looking forward to the National, where I'm going to target the T3. You know, try to get the Chrissy Mathewson. I've got the Walter Johnson now, so Mathewson or Cy Young would be my next big pickup there. So hopefully we'll see how it goes. But let me know what you think about the cards I picked up here, and I'll see you next time on Cards and Comics. Bye.